poppin' twin? What's poppin' twin? Okay, so this week has been crazy. My goal is to give you guys the rundown on a bunch of different things. We're gonna talk political events, we're gonna talk current events, we're just gonna talk reality TV drama. We're just gonna be talking about all the things we usually like to talk about. So let's get into it and get into the first segment. I'm literally scrolling on my Instagram timeline trying to stay afloat with everything going on. ICE agents are killing people. Lauren Underwood's bill to extend the healthcare tax credits for 3 more years just passed in the House. And Fetty Wap is out of jail. I did not expect that. Hey, yes, girl, hold on to your scrunchies and Crocs because Fetty Wap is officially out of jail. Listen, so many people are in and out of jail that I literally forgot he was in there. Like, I've been more focused on Blueface getting out and Diddy going in. We running out, we running in. He was talking about 1738, but he really should have been focused on getting locked up in 2021 because Fetty Wap was arrested on federal drug charges in October 2021, just before he was scheduled to perform at Rolling Loud in New York. That's a big bag to miss out on. But anyways, prosecutors said he was part of a drug trafficking conspiracy that moved large amounts of illegal drugs, including cocaine, heroin, fentanyl, and crack from the West Coast into Long Island and New Jersey. Crack is crazy. But honestly, we should have been known he was doing this because he said, married to the money, introduced it to my stove. Like, damn, that's an admission of guilt. And honestly, foreshadowing. He pleaded guilty in August of 2022 to 1 count of conspiracy to distribute and possess controlled substances, including at least 500 grams of cocaine. And that's a federal crime with a mandatory minimum of 5 years. At sentencing in May of 2023, a judge gave him a 6-year federal prison term, which also includes 5 years of supervised release afterward. But now, this man is out after serving about 3 years of his sentence, and he was transferred to home confinement in Philadelphia. And a lot of y'all think it's celebrity privilege, but I just want to address that. It's actually not. It's a common part of the federal prison system where inmates can earn reduced time for good behavior and other factors. So this is likely due to a combination of good conduct, participation in programs, the Federal Bureau of Prisons' discretion to transfer suitable inmates to home confinement as a part of their supervised release. When I was reading the facts of the case, it actually said that prosecutors advocated for a harsher sentence for him, and in his sentencing hearing, they said he used his music platform to glamorize the drug trade. They literally were singing Trap Queen in the courtroom, and honestly, the entire song is about drugs, so they weren't wrong. But this came up a lot in the Young Thug case, and in the comments tracking the case, basically people were wondering, can song lyrics be used to convict someone? Nah. Song lyrics alone can't get somebody hemmed up, but they can be used to help prove a point if you're already having concrete evidence that the defendant did something. So they can be used for evidence of intent or prior knowledge, corroboration, like the lyrics are corroborating the evidence that they already have, or they can be used as threats or admissions. For example, they caught Fetty Wap with drugs, 500 grams of it to say the least. So when him and his lawyers are trying to say, Your Honor, this isn't who I am, this is just my artistic expression, the prosecutors are actually like, ha, no, refer to Exhibit A. Like, sir, these lyrics are actually precisely detailing the things that you were accused of. In the Young Thug case, they did the same thing. He said, prosecutors said that is him bragging about killing people, which he was technically on trial for. The other one was, and it's my song, I never killed anybody, but I got something to do with that body. Prosecutors argued this line in court though. They said this line suggests involvement in violent acts and that he was a part of an organization where people kill for him. So yes, these lyrics weren't the basis for charging Young Thug or Fetty Wap, but they were used to show that they are tied to gang activity, violence, and other offenses in the Young Thug case and drugs in Fetty Wap's case. But enough with all this legal stuff, because now that Fetty Wap is out, I think we all just want to know, does this mean that Alexa Sky and Masika are going to start beefing again? That was a great era of the internet. When he was out, those two were going at it. And Masika's a Gemini, so I ride for us till we die. I'm always on her side. But they used to go at it. And I remember used to wake up in the morning every day ooh, I wonder what they're going to call each other today. So hopefully we can get back to that. Nick O'Landria. I was not on the Nick O'Landria bandwagon during Love Island, not because I don't love interracial couples. I love interracial couples. Loving First Virginia was one of my favorite cases. I love all the little interracial baddies. Serena Williams and Alex Ohanian, Cameron and Lauren from Love is Blind, Kamala and Doug, Ketanji Brown Jackson and her man, I don't know his name, Prince Harry and Meghan. Shoot, I would get me a Prince Harry. A little redhead that know what to do with it. I would try it. But listen, I wasn't on the bandwagon because I didn't see what everyone else was seeing. I actually really liked Nick and Sierra until #StopAsianHateGate. When that ended, I didn't really understand why everyone thought this opened the door for him to be with Alandria. But the Nick Alandria fans clearly saw something because they made water out of wine trying to piece that plot together. Y'all saw them kiss on the first day one time and we're shipping this for the whole season. they belong together. But listen, I'm gonna be honest, I can accept my defeats though, because y'all were right. Nick and Landry is still going strong when everyone else broke up. Shelly and Ace are done. Sorrow's prayers. Amaya and Brian are done. And Huda still didn't get carried across that creek by Chris. It's been a mess. Anyways, the reason why I'm here making this video today for you all instead of minding my black-owned business on this day is because Nick posted on Instagram saying that y'all are sending him and his family death threats and that you're saying racist things about his girlfriend, and that's just not going to fly with me. And here's the thing. I've been watching Love Island since the very first season. Back when the girlies were chain smoking cigarettes by the pool and the noises made in the bedroom weren't translated into subtitles or cute little emojis. We got the full 4K surround sound of the clapping and whatever else they thought was appropriate to broadcast at 8 p.m. Those were the simpler times, my friends. Now, a lot of you all are new to reality TV, so you don't know the sacred rules of engagement. Because here's the tea. We can talk shit and drag reality stars, but only in very specific categories. Y'all remember on season 6 when Serena cussed out Cordell up and down the villa? We didn't even know how many rooms and spaces was in that villa until Serena cussed him out in all of them. We could talk mess then. We said, Cordell, you was riling for bouncing that girl on you like it was a bounce outside Chuck E. Cheese. And Serena, you was wilding for cussing that man out for an entire episode. But we love you. Y'all resolved this because y'all were made for each other. Or, for another example, if someone is playing games and only here to win the money and not actually there to find love, we could talk about that. We could drag them to hell and back. Fashion choices. We can talk about that because that can be changed. Like, we don't want to talk about someone's face because they can't change that. Well, but we can talk about people's clothes because all someone needs is a little bit of encouragement to let that sheen cart go. And we can give them that encouragement by talking a little mess. But we can't call people racist slurs. That's not fun. We need to keep the disrespect lighthearted, you know? Like, people are now sending death threats to families and telling people to kill themselves. That's too far. Y'all have taken it too far. Do you hear what I'm saying? Like, y'all need to get it together. We're not gonna have any more shows to watch because you keep doing too much. They're all gonna turn their comments off, and now we can't even talk lighthearted shit because we can't even be in the comments because they all turned off. Y'all need to get it together because y'all don't know the tricks of the trade, the rules of engagement. We can talk mess, but keep it cute. And get off Nick's back. We support our white kings when they date in black women, okay? Get it together. Can we leave the 50-50 conversations in 2025? I promise you, I cannot do it anymore. Like, we have bigger fishes to fry. Like, do you understand this? Trump dropped bombs in Somalia, Iraq, Yemen, Syria, Iran, Nigeria, and Venezuela, and yet here we are sitting on Twitter trying to figure out how to split $4 two ways. I'm sick. And what people decide to do inside their own relationship is exactly that. Inside their own relationship. It's not a group project. There's no class discussion. No one needs a 12-tweet thread, a podcast episode, or a bar graph explaining why your personal deal breakers should be universal law. I don't care. If two grown people agree on something and nobody's being harmed, congratulations. That's called consent, not a social experiment that we all need to vote on. I'm done. We need to wrap it up because my brothers and sisters in Christ, we can't still be here. Like, are you guys aware of how many horrible things that have happened to black people in the past year? A lot. Ending federal DEI programs, the halt on federal grant programs that give critical funds to black institutions, repealing parts of the Affordable Care Act, slashing Medicaid, cutting SNAP, redirecting money and DOJ grants focused on community-based violence intervention programs in the black community. Like, come on. All of this is happening and we're focused on telling each other that a man doesn't love you if he can't afford to pay for your cornrows and manicured toes or whatever Nelly said. We don't have time for this anymore. I have other things I need to do with my time. I have TikTok dancers I need to critique. I have lace fronts that I need to shade. I have BBL bandits that I need to make fun of because the thighs don't match. I want to get back to the fun stuff. And this goes for friend groups too. I swear, nothing makes me question humanity faster than a group of grown adults arguing over whether to split the check 50-50 or make the lobster buyer pay extra. It's too much. Like, congratulations, you've just turned ordering food into a full-on drama. Meanwhile, the person who actually ordered the $45 lobster is sitting there wondering if they actually signed up for Law and Order Brunch Edition. We don't have time for this. So anyways, I just want to go on the record and say it's 2026. We need to leave the 50-50 conversations in 2025. They have us in a chokehold. The black community, we are in a chokehold with this conversation when we need to be worried about other stuff. And that's that on that. Y'all are gonna hate me for this, but if you invite me on a birthday trip and I have to pay for my flight, you have to pay for housing. Take it up with your mama because you can't take it up with me. Those are the rules. Written, notarized, blood binding. I didn't make them. I just heavily enforce them and judge those that don't abide. Because this is the thing. If I pay for my housing and my flight, then this is not a birthday trip. That is a group trip. And I now officially have a say in the itinerary. We're splitting housing, tables, dinners, flights, bottles. No, this is my trip. I'm the captain now.
Let me drive the boat.
Like, is that crazy? You knew this was coming up. You had 365 days to make it make sense, and now I'm paying for all these things like this is my quinceañera. No, honey. I have to pay for my own birthday and travel to other friends' birthdays. Bitches be wanting you to spend more money on their birthday than you would spend on your own birthday. Like, I'm not even financing memories that don't even include my name in the caption. Posting the caption, it's my birthday. No, bitch, it's our birthday together. The world needs to know the truth. I own 12% of this trip. I'm a shareholder. I'm an executive. I'm a decision-making body, bitch. I'm the board of the directors. I'm paying for this trip. I know my worth. You can't go to Abu Dhabi without me. You need me. You need my little 12% for the Airbnb to make this work, and I'm gonna get my money's worth. I'll be using every amenity. I'll be in the hot tub at inconvenient hours. You tell me you want to go to dinner, too bad I want to go to the beach. I have a say. Like, matter of fact, beg. If you want me to go and contribute, hands on your knees like a dog and beg me. And let me be clear, I will not be paying to celebrate you. I love you dearly, but my gift is the presents, my outfit and emotional support while you take 700 photos. That's what it is. I know that I'm gonna get backlash for this video, but that's just how I feel. If you know your birthday is coming up, girl, plan accordingly. And if you don't, and I'm financing the trip, this is my trip now. There was a case that was in and out of the news extremely fast that I want to call attention to because I think the facts of his case can potentially help someone else. Terez Riley was a black man that was stopped by the police and federal agents in Washington, D.C. as he was walking into Trader Joe's. Officers suspected something because his bag, quote, looked heavy, and they followed him into the store. They searched his bag and found 2 firearms. He was then charged federally with being a felon in possession of firearms. A federal magistrate judge ruled that Riley's stop and search was unlawful, saying that it was without a doubt the most illegal search I've ever seen in my life, and that officers lacked reasonable suspicion to stop him. Because of that unlawful search, the federal government dropped the gun charges against Riley. Now, before I get into the egregiousness of the case, I want to focus on the judge's comments. The judge's comments in the Terez Riley case are extraordinary because of perspective. Federal judges see countless cases every year. They're familiar with bad arrests, questionable stops, borderline searches. For one to declare this without a doubt the most illegal search I've ever seen in my life is staggering. It's not a hyperbole, it's testimony from someone who spent decades in the trenches of the justice system, witnessing every shade possible of procedural mishap. So when a judge with that experience speaks this way, it sends a clear signal that what happened to Riley wasn't just a minor misjudgment or technical slip. It was a profound violation of the law and of constitutional principles. He walked into a grocery store, Trader Joe's at that. We know who shops at Trader Joe's, with a backpack, and suddenly federal agents and police officers are following him inside, demanding to know what's in the bag. Why? Because it looks heavy. That's it. That's the reason they gave. A bag looks heavy. No probable cause, no reasonable suspicion of a crime, just the weight of a bag, and I'm assuming the color of his skin. And under the Constitution, that is not enough. The Fourth Amendment exists to protect us exactly from that kind of arbitrary intrusion, and the idea that the government agents can stop, search, and detain someone based on a hunch or appearance alone is incorrect. Reasonable suspicion requires specific, articulable facts that suggest a person is involved in a criminal activity. So a bag looking heavy is not even close. It's just a blank check of profiling, a justification invented after the fact, and a direct violation of the fundamental rights we're supposed to all share. But what happened in the Terez Riley case is not just a technical violation of the law, it's a human violation. He spent days in jail for no reason, his freedom and dignity stripped away while law enforcement acted on a flimsy, arbitrary premise. And yes, charges can be dropped, but the experience, the trauma, the stain of an arrest linger far longer than a court order. So this is why judges called it one of the most illegal searches that they had ever seen. Not just because it was a procedural mistake, but because it's a warning. If this can happen to one person for simply walking into a store with a heavy bag, it can happen to anyone. As a lawyer, if you are stopped by the police, there are steps that you should take to try to put you in the best position to both remain safe and, if you're searched, help you beat the case on the back end. So let me break that down. If the police stop you and want to search you or your belongings, stay calm and respectful and know your rights. You do not have to consent to a search. You can say, I do not consent to a search. Keep your hands visible and avoid sudden movements. Ask if you are free to leave. If they say yes, calmly walk away. And if you say you do have the right to remain silent, you can politely say, I'm invoking my right to remain silent before answering questions. Don't lie, but don't volunteer extra information. If they search you anyway, do not physically resist because it can be used against you. But make a mental note of everything. Officer name, badge numbers, time, location, what was said, and contact a lawyer as soon as possible. Even if the charges are dropped, a record of the encounter can affect you. Remember, a heavy bag or looking suspicious is not enough for legal search. What happened to Terez Riley shows us that enforcing your rights is not only your legal protection, it's essential for holding law enforcement accountable. And you might be thinking, because I know you're thinking it, girl, They do not care about black people. They do whatever they want to us. Yes, that's real. And there are things that you can do the moment and afterward that matter. Staying calm, knowing your rights, documenting the encounter, remembering names, badge numbers, times, locations, exactly what was said. All of that evidence becomes powerful for your lawyer. Even if the officers act unlawfully in the moment, these details can give you a voice afterwards. They allow your lawyer to push back, challenge illegal searches, and hold the system accountable. It's not about ignoring the reality of bias. It's about protecting yourself and building a record that can actually make a difference. And I know it's frustrating. When a cop is playing in your face, everyone wants to spaz out. I am not saying that what they're doing is okay. I'm trying to give you the advice that will put you in the best position to survive because they are wilding out. It's horrible. But these are steps that you can take to put yourself in the best position to stay alive during the encounter and to fight for yourself legally afterwards. And that's just what it is.